Be right back.
Okay.
Let's see. Hi. Okay, I'll be right back.
Becca will be right back. In the meantime, anyone booking readings with me this week, because somebody will be in Oregon with somebody else, and somebody else. I won't approve the readings until I get back home. So I have some openings. If you go to my website, I have some openings in August. Just be aware that they won't get final approved until I'm back at home.
Do get a reading with Auntie Jennie because she's fantastical.
Oh.
And get a reading with this guy too down here.
I don't do readings anymore.
This little marshmallow right here. Get a reading with him. He says like that shirt he's gonna wear, not a hugger with the cactus, but he's all soft and gooey and squishy on the inside.
Hey, LEP, I forgot to text you back. Yes, tornadoes touched down near me. Wednesday, we had crazy tornado day. I had a huge one that touched down about 3 miles from me. There's gorgeous pictures of it, this huge white tornado with a rainbow behind it. But it apparently only hit fields. It didn't seem to hit any houses, but we had I want to say about 8 tornadoes on Wednesday all over the place.
On the same day?
On the same day. We had this huge rain cell that came in. We had storms and nothing like major storms. The winds weren't even that high, but behind it, there were converging air fronts. And they said it might have been caused by El Nino. But converging air fronts, and on the backside of this huge cell, all of a sudden, tornadoes like crazy. When it got out over Lake Michigan, they had water spouts like crazy.
Wow.
But I was okay. Autumn from Black and Orange was okay. Ona's okay. Mel Dore was okay. All the Illinois readers are okay. But it was scary. I was in the middle of a personal reading, and I had to run, kennel the cats and take them to the basement.
Yeah, go to the basement.
They were pretty close by. 3 miles is pretty close.
I mean, seriously. Yeah. That's like walking distance, Yeah. Damn.
And the scary part, like after it passed over us and it was moving towards Chicago, I went out on my street, and looking down the street, I could see 2 funnel clouds in the sky. They weren't touching down yet, but they were around the Fox River and coming down, and later they hit the ground. But
wow.
Yeah, it was crazy tornado day.
Wow. Anything from you, Mr. Johnie?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
He's getting ready for company and bear hugs.
And bear hugs. And I'm just excited to have a Monte Cristo with Johnie, because that joke will never end. For me, it's going to live on forever. Johnie trying to make a Monte Cristo.
I can make simple things. Don't give me anything complicated.
we just made ribs again in the Ninja Foodie. So again, thank you to Sylvia, the best person in the world, because I'm telling you, I use that thing all the time. And we just made ribs in there yesterday, and they were so good. So I saved some for tonight for dinner, but I'm looking forward to the Monte Cristo, because I haven't had one. And well, I had the one that I made last year.
Running sloth. God ain't petty, but I am. She's asking what my t-shirt says.
Yeah. The one I made in the Foodie was good, but it wasn't as good as like when you deep fry it. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see how this one is, because mind you, it has pineapple in it.
I was like, what the hell is that? Maybe we can ask them to not put the pineapple inside of it.
It says at the bottom of the menu, no substitutions, please.
But it wouldn't be a substitution. It would be a, please don't put this in there.
Don't put it in. It's probably pre-made and they just heat it up. So we'll see though. The other days, there's another one that's like 1.5 miles or 2 miles, 3 miles, something away from that one. But they don't use bread, they use waffles. And so it's a Monte Cristo sandwich without bread, it's waffles. And so it's either the one with the weird ingredients or like the breakfast one. So
the traditional one.
This is stuff like this makes me wish that Bennigan's was still around, because I used to get my Monte Cristos at Bennigan's. I don't know what happened to them. I think they disappeared or closed down or whatever, but Bennigan's and Perkins Restaurant, but Perkins is only like on the East Coast, I think.
And I love their spinach salad with hot bacon dressing.
Mm-hmm. Bennigan's was cool. Kind of sucks that they're not around anymore.
And they had good nachos. They were like one of the first I remember going to and getting a big thing of nachos.
Yeah.
Love
Bennigan's. See, now I'm getting hungry. We started right off on the food talk.
We're going to be eating and food talking all week, I know.
Oh man. So Jennie was just telling me before we went live, I think it was last week when we read on that the spy.
Gal, what's his name?
Luft, is it? Something like that?
I should know.
GAL something, and then his last name something.
Somebody help us out in the chat. Gal, what?
The Chinese spy person that was feeding false information to the Republican committee. Gal Luft. Thank you, Karin and Letitia. They're saying Gal Luft. Well, Jennie was just telling me that last week when we read on that, I think I did a box spread or something. And I got the tree in there somewhere. I was like, how is this related? And for some reason, I was thinking a country with a tree. I mean, that's the only way I could make it fit with everything else that was going on. And what did you just tell me? He was
illegal arms trading. You know, we're not supposed to A, do illegal arms trading, and B, we're not supposed to work with Iran, right? He was illegal arms selling from Iran to Libya. Libya has a tree in their flag. And you talked about Libya, maybe Libya.
I don't know if I said Libya or Lebanon, but because the tree was right there. It was tree book and then something else. And I was like, but I couldn't figure out how it would fit unless it was like being literal, like a place that's a tree, you know? So that's interesting. And I was telling Johnie and Jennie too, I was like, when they said Chinese spy, my mind automatically went to, you know, like an Asian looking person. This guy is white. He's a whitey. I was like, holy crap. You know, but so that's that. But so anyways, you guys ready? Anything else or?
I've been busy getting ready to go out of town, so I haven't watched a lot of news.
I've been busy with my head stuck in a book. Oh, there's another thing, you guys. I texted Johnie and Jennie this week because I was on TikTok and I had pre-ordered this book. I was on TikTok and I was seeing people go into their Barnes and Nobles and just like table stacked high full of these books. So I went online. I'm like, the Barnes and Nobles is right there, less than a mile away. And it said in stock in store. So I was like, oh, wow, mine will have it. So I ran down the hill. They had it. They just wouldn't sell it to me because it doesn't release until Tuesday. So I was so sad. I was so sad that my delivery came in Saturday. And I literally stayed up all night reading that book. I'm almost done with it. But yeah, that was.
Becca has a foot fetish.
A foot fetish?
Or not a foot fetish, a book fetish. Sorry.
Oh, a book fetish. Oh my God.
Sorry.
That's not my kink. So
You might have a foot fetish too. I don't know. We could throw cards.
No. Oh, there's Lori. I see Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hey, Lori. Lori's going to be live with me. Next week we'll be on my channel. We flip because Becca's traveling next week and not home yet.
Yeah. So speaking of Lori, how about we start with Florida? How about that? So I was watching on the news that more insurance companies are leaving Florida.
And they have the highest inflation rate in the country.
Highest inflation rate, highest insurance rates. I don't understand how insurance works. I don't. And I was watching this guy, I think it was on the Chris Hayes show or something. And he was talking about insurers, but then insurers have these other people that give them money. So like a sub-insurer or something like that. And with climate change and the increase of storms and bad weather and all that stuff, they're just like, no, it's too risky. So even more insurance companies are leaving. On top of that, from the damages from last hurricane season and Ron DeSantis's bigoted policies where people can't find workers. A bunch of homes are still not repaired because those immigrant workers ain't around because you otherized them, you know. So
not to mention his wife Carol, who they're now calling a Karin,
yeah,
was like, don't donate to Red Cross, donate to my charity. And did it get out to people? No.
So I guess my question is, and then I saw something on YouTube, I don't know where I saw it, what channel it was, that he was saying that insurance companies will come back after hurricane season. I was like, that doesn't help the losses during hurricane season. They're not going to retroactively cover a loss before you were insured.
And what are they going to do? Jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. Oh, hurricane season is coming. Let's leave again.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then on top of that, the housing prices are through the roof in Florida. I don't understand that at all. You know, so it's like, I want to, since Lori had mentioned that he's termed out, he can no longer be governor after this term is over. I have a couple of questions because it's like, there is going to be a disaster there. Because I mean, we're coming up on hurricane season again.
My first question is, will whoever replaces him uncover a lot of corruption?
Okay, let's start there. Will the person that replaces Ron DeSantis uncover, will the next governor of Florida uncover
a lot of corruption
from Ron DeSantis? And you got to think too, all that COVID money, where'd it go?
Yep. Ooh, speaking of COVID money, I'm getting to discover something about that. It was just a big old party while he was in there is what I'm getting. So when they change their leadership coming in, they're going to have to put a lot of new plans together that have been blocked in the past because there was some sort of constriction that he did with the funds. And I'm getting something about his wife living high on the hog, maybe getting an action taken against her, and something about the payouts from COVID. They're going to see how those were structured. So I get there will be something discovered on that COVID money, some sort of betrayal on the COVID money.
There we go, Jean. It's the reinsurance companies. Thank you so much for that. Because I just thought insurance was insurance. I didn't know that there was insurance and then reinsurance. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I just did my first insurance claim ever in my life just this year. So I have no idea how that stuff works, but thank you for letting me know. What'd you get, Johnny?
Yes, but it's, I mean, who cares, kind of. If you replace Ron DeSantis with a Ron DeSantis, then like Florida is probably prone to do, who cares? There's the Four of Cups. There is this, I see it, but I'm not acknowledging type of thing.
A little apathy.
Mm-hmm. The Ace of Cups and the Three of Swords. Someone, however, because justice is in the word of warning, somebody does care, and somebody may sue or try to start an investigation or something like that. But it's like a mouse trying to wrangle elephants at that point. And so it ends in the Eight of Swords. There's a whole lot there, but who's going to get it out is a whole nother thing. But yes, they will uncover it to answer the question, but will they tell it to us and will they move on it and act on it? That's a whole different thing. But
I like that deck. What deck is that, Neil?
No, I just rarely use it because they stick together a lot.
It's pretty. I like
Called
the
True
pictures on it.
Black Tarot.
What is it?
True Black is what it's called.
That's pretty.
It's got really nice color to it.
Uh-huh. I'm getting the clouds, the woman, and the mice. Yeah, there's a woman there that's been stealing. I am not going to jump and say this is Ron DeSantis's wife. It could be somebody else within that circle of the governorship that is in place with the office. So I don't know if this is like, I don't know. There's the governor, and then who else? Like the state senator, the lieutenant
assistant
governor,
governors,
assistant
his
governor.
aides.
This isn't an aide, though. This is somebody else.
Can we ask, is she stealing just outside of that? Not saying that that's still not saying that's her, because it could be a whole bunch of people. But can you ask?
It's a woman though, and she's stealing. Big trouble. This as a thing could also be bad weather. So bad weather and destruction, but there's something missing that's been taken away. But she's the one that's stealing. See what I'm saying?
Now she did get accused of stealing hurricane funds or misappropriating his wife.
Oh, Lori's saying the lieutenant governor is a female.
Well,
Ron DeSantis' wife be stealing COVID money or
hurricane money. I don't know exactly how they have. That's just what I heard.
There's a woman here that's stealing. That's all I can tell. I don't know who this is. If this is a lieutenant governor or who, she steals there. So, and then I pulled more cards. I got the fish, the storks, and the moon. So here's the money, the transactions, the shopping. It's been moved somewhere very creatively. So maybe it's shuffling money around. And then, do you see what I'm saying? To take it that way. So
we read on something similar to that too, I think last week. Because she's his wife. Now, still not saying that's her because it can be anybody, but his wife has the Moms for DeSantis thing, and they collect a lot of money. It's not the Moms for Liberty. This is a whole different thing. She also used that same little organization to raise money when he was running for governor. Now he's running for president. She's doing it again. And so they got a bunch of phantom donations that sounds like money just circling around from person to person.
And how much of that is foreign too?
Mm-hmm.
So my next question on Florida, because I'm pretty sure we're in hurricane season right now. I think it goes through September, October.
Yeah.
So because of the situation with insurance companies leaving, and storms just getting worse and worse every year because of climate change. I guess what I'm trying to say is after hurricane season is over, are families that are going to be affected in this upcoming hurricane season, will they have, I don't even know how to word it, Jen. It's like there's no insurance freaking companies there. You know what I mean? So how are they going to help me out here? How are they going to like get by? You know?
Yeah, like if their home's destroyed, then it's all on them.
Because I did read, thank you, Margaret. I was looking at a report, a story that the local news there was doing, and everybody is now looking to the legislature to put something in place for the security of the Floridians in hurricane season. So we could ask, how will they do? How will this hurricane season affect them financially, to see if, because maybe that'll answer whether they'll have something in place or whether they won't. Because if they'll be completely devastated, then they have nothing but FEMA.
Yeah, but they're not even helping. He's not even taking FEMA money, is it? Is he?
But
he's like
FEMA only brings temporary housing in. They don't rebuild your house.
This is true.
Yeah, and he's done a fantastic job of running all the construction workers out of town. You know, so here's
if you had the money to rebuild.
Yeah, here's all the jobs you wanted, white folk. Go build the roof and go rebuild the house. You know, so how should we word that again, Johnny?
How will this financially affect the Floridians, those in hurricane prone zones?
So how will this affect homeowners, residents, hurricane season? But please tell me how the gays and the transgender and the books are ruining your lives.
You won't have a school to rebuild or the money to do it with, but here, go ahead and ban all those books.
And that's another thing that I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Unless you have a shit ton of money sitting in your personal account or you're rich as F, it is required that you hold insurance in order for a bank to give you a mortgage. So, and if insurance companies are pulling out of Florida, how are you going to bring people in? And people that want to leave, how are they going to get rid of their property because nobody's going to fucking insure the house?
I think it's already criminal, first of all, that I've been paying all this insurance and you just skip town with all my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what do I do now?
You just flushed all that money away. You know, and
I get there'll be a constriction, like a lot of people, moving away and ending living there, and trying to find money. They're going to have to, strength with families, like they're going to have to lean on their families to give them a little money because this is going to bankrupt them. It's going to bankrupt a lot of people. A lot of people will turn their backs on Florida, move away. So you're going to see a migration, is what I'm getting. It's not good.
as Spaceship, in California, you have regular insurance, and then you're also required to carry earthquake insurance, which is separate. So you have regular insurance for any damages, floods, whatever, which we're in a no flood zone because we're on top of a big ass hill. So unless a meteor hits the ocean and there's like an 800-foot tsunami, like, we're okay. But we are required to carry earthquake insurance, but it's a separate insurance that we have to have. So what did you get, Johnie?
I'm bearer of bad news, I guess. This will get worse, it seems. There's the 10 of Pentacles, so this may be your insurance company or some big business, big money, big something. And then you have the Moon card. There's a lot of uncertainty around it still. There's also a plan that is quite treacherous, which is, of course, to leave people high and dry. That way they don't have to pay out anything, but they still took sacks of your money and left. So it's not like they're bankrupt and they're not there. They don't want to pay out because hurricane season costs a lot of money. The Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So there's still going to be some poverty here and then some opportunity. So the opportunity is quite small. Ace of Pentacles is like the beginning of something. It's not enrichment. It's not the 10. It's not the 9. We're at the beginning, so therefore it is quite small, but the poverty is felt. So there will be a lot of people that are out. And I heard the word flooding. So flooding is going to cause possibly more damage than just the winds and stuff flying through the air. So this may be instead of full-blown hurricane season, maybe there's a lot more tropical storms. And so there's going to be a lot more flooding, and then that's going to present a problem too. But it ends in the Fool, which I clarified with the Empress Tower and 9 of Swords. So someone on a different scale is trying to help. This may be out-of-state type things. I don't know if it's like a federal government thing or what, but this is someone else coming in to do something. Because the Empress is abundance, and this is like something that is coming in to try to make something whole or to make something better, but it's from the outside. But it still meets the 9 of Swords in the Tower, for it's not enough either. So there needs to be a plan, which is why you have governors, because we live in 50 different countries in this one country. And so this is why you have governors, but this is also why you vote for governors who aren't idiots. Sure. Keep that in mind, Florida, for the next go round.
Yeah. Like I think I told you guys how I was watching the news, the local news on YouTube from Fort Myers, and the immigrants that were protesting those laws that he just passed. I'm talking hundreds of immigrants were walking around protesting. And then over in, I think it was Cape Coral, a tiny amount of old white folk who well, we just don't want all the rapists and the drugs coming in here. And it's like, bitch, have fun cleaning your house, mowing your lawn, fixing your roof next time your house gets blown to shit. You know, like
Never mind that there's a lot of white rapists.
yeah.
I mean, that stuff is already here. What are you afraid of now?
We had them before we had immigrants.
I can't. How will this affect homeowners? Some of them are going to be okay, pretty solid, but there's going to be some deeply rooted and growing suspicions about what people are being told and how they're going to be and how they've been manipulated. And then there's going to have to be a lot, and then that will lead to further discussions and meetings and people speaking out about the how work has been performed or the work that was done and how they were manipulated through speech somehow. So yeah, so my next question is Ron DeSantis's donors are fleeing for the hills. The donors for his campaign, for his presidential campaign, are just like, peace out. He's tanking in the polls, and mind you, they haven't even made it to the presidential debates yet, or the Republican debates yet, and this motherfucker is fucked 15 ways to Sunday.
Did you see the video where he wiped his snot off on a man's shoulder?
No! Oh.
It's on Midas Touch. It was so funny. It was like halfway into the clip. He goes like this, and then he pats this man sitting there, pats him on his shoulder here, and just wipes his hand on his. That's like, God, he just wiped his snot all over that man.
So he eats pudding with 3 fingers and wipes his snot all over people? Like, what the fuck?
And meanwhile, JFK's, or not JFK, what's his name? Kennedy, that's
RFK.
RMK, somebody got very farty in his campaign dinner. It was just one of those weeks.
What?
You old booger nose pudding eating food. You can get your go-go boots away from me.
What the hell would possess you to take all
this old man sitting there, and I think the old man was in a wheelchair, because he was sitting, everybody else was standing.
Have you heard of this
snot on his shoulder?
Have you heard of this great thing called napkins?
Kleenex?
What the fuck? I would never.
I mean, you got a little pudding and a little snot on his shoulder. And
with a total stranger at that too, a person that would vote for you, and you just took all your damn snot and wiped it all over.
I'm appalled.
Like, could have like wiped his hand on his own pants or something before patting that.
Or just not do that at all right now.
Oh my God, because I mean they're fucking with him on Twitter, because they have all these pictures of how he laughs, and it's like that. So
like,
it's everywhere.
Pudding pops is now gonna be pudding snot.
Oh my God, there's something wrong with that guy. There has to be. That's another one. The elevator stuck in the basement and it's flooded, because that's just gross. That's just fucking gross.
Well, somebody that eats their pudding with 3 fingers instead of a spoon,
I bet you
he doesn't have any kind of manners. So
I bet you he's a booger eater. I bet you Ron
he's just a booger
I bet
smear.
you he sits there 5 fingers deep in his nose, and I bet you. I'm gonna ask: is Ron DeSantis a booger eater?
Oh, he can't get 3 fingers up his nostrils, though, kid.
3 finger Ronnie.
Nostrils his wig.
3 fingers. Thank you, Mrs.
Oh, 6 of Pentacles is a yes, and it's sharing.
Smearing it.
It's like, one for me, one for you.
Look at this one. It's real crusty. It's kind of salty. You want to bite?
Oh,
Oh my god, that was disgusting.
He has airborne allergy issues. He's got some kind of problem with airborne things.
oh my God.
I get he offers things up all the time to other people that, you know, it's like very sneaky.
What is the world we live in,
That was the
Jesus?
most
Help me.
disgusting thing I think I've ever said on this channel.
Who would have thought we'd ever read on is somebody a booger?
This is why I'm convinced God don't want us in the same room.
It reminds me.
It's about to happen.
You know, he reminds me of that guy from Revenge of the Nerds, that movie. His name was Booger because he was always eating his boogers.
We
Like,
call him booger cups. 3-finger booger cups.
does he eat his boogers? Yes, a lot, a whole bunch of them.
Oh God.
The big chunky ones that cause blockages, and then they get runny. Hell, y'all.
I ain't got none of them in my shirt. I can't give you one.
I'm going straight to hell. Oh, my head hurts from laughing so hard.
Oh God, he probably saves them for later and everything.
He's one of those that, and then puts it underneath the furniture. So he has like
Sorry, guys, we have gone off the rails.
my face is red.
I can't. Oh my God.
Oh, we're not reporters. This is what's supposed to happen over here.
I swear.
I can't wait till y'all go to the other readers' channels and ask them to read on this.
Boogers.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You might get blocked. Don't do that.
Aspasia was saying the next governor is going to find his whole stash of boogers on the furniture.
Under his desk. Be careful. Don't cross your legs. You might get stuff on your pants.
Have the furniture moved out. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
The governor's desk might be a little sticky on the underside.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that was nasty.
Ooh.
Sorry, it was a little derailment. Sorry, guys. It is the petty boots.
Okay, so on to something a little bit more serious. So Jack Smith is looking into, I don't really care, do you, Melania? You want to tell us about that, Jenny?
Karin said, Conroy said she couldn't even post the question. She was gagging. So apparently in Trump's fundraising grift, there's money that went to an LLC that then 157 million that then ended up in Melania's little pocket. So there's a little investigation now on Melania. So how's that going to go for her?
So
There's
the
some
outcome,
illegal gotten gains from the campaign.
so the outcome of Jack Smith's investigation of Melania.
I don't think it's Jack Smith. I think it's somebody else was looking into it.
DOJ? Okay, so show me the outcome of the DOJ investigation into Melania Trump's fundraising.
Wait, $147,000 or million?
Million. Yeah, because Trump's a billionaire. You know,
How do you funnel that much money and you don't think nobody's going to find out?
Because it went through an LLC and probably another LLC to.
I guess well, they do it all the time, so I guess
And they've been doing it for so long that they're
send this through the
cavalier.
regular channels.
Yeah, they're just cavalier.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was the question? One more time, then.
How's the investigation into Melania going to go?
Oof.
Buying more goats for Bubba the goat herder.
Yeah. Getting herself a new set of kidneys that go on her chest. Because girlfriend, let me tell you, stop with the freaking plastic surgeries. Your eyeballs are going to end up in the back of your head. Like, just stop.
I mean, she might as well. She already looked like something from Star Trek. You might as well keep going.
It's like, how the fuck does she see, dude? I mean, her face is pulled so tight that it's just like, you're not going to have any skin left, you know?
Let's see.
I have a headache from laughing.
She's eventually going to end up with a charge. This is going to take a while, though. Temperance. The money that she took is going to burden her. This was premeditated. I do get DOJ and investigators charging in. This seems to be routine to gift her money, so there may be more involved than what we're hearing about. And they've got to review this. I get the tower for her, trying to get to calmer waters, but it's thievery. It's thievery, and then I get indictment coming. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
I get Chariot and the Death card. So whoever she's working with, there is some change to that relationship that brought about all of this. So they're following the trail of things. She wasn't necessarily the target, probably, but there's a trail, and then she's on the way to wherever they're eventually going. This is going to take some time, though, but there's a very strong case against her, and there's something here about money missing too, and that is going to come up for her too here in the future. So with the star card, this may be sometime during the winter. You may hear another, or going towards the winter, so maybe even October, but going towards the winter, there's something else about money missing, and she is one of the people named. But this is a teamwork thing, so she's just one of the most prominent names, but this is going to take a while because it's quite involved. There's probably 4 people total in this too. So they do have a charge against her. Then.
So I get the house, the fox, the ring, the bouquet, and the birds. Fraud, first of all, but it's not just fraud. It's family. The family's involved in fraud, and she's linked. There's a link there. To the gifts that were received. I don't get any money cards. So gifts, favors, but it results, the outcome is testimony, talking, negotiating. So either hearings or witnesses are going to have to come forward because it's linked. And then when you look at the house, the ring, and the birds, it's like the family is linked to some sort of a negotiation. And these offers are false. There's something manipulative about the offers, or the rewards, the gifts. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't get court right away, but I do get somebody's going to have to talk. People are going to sing about it. So fun with that. And then she was on. I saw a couple of things on Twitter the other day saying that she's not just a pretty face, she's very intelligent. And I'm like, honey, it doesn't take intelligence to spread your legs and pose nude for magazines. Okay. So like, I mean,
I know a lot of intelligent, stupid people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can have all the book smart in the world and make the worst decisions of your whole life at the same time.
Have no common sense.
Have no common sense. But that girl, I would be surprised if she has a high school, the equivalent of a high school diploma from her, from where she's from, Transylvania or wherever the hell.
Slovenia or Romania, Slovenia, I think.
So, Transylvania. She looks like she would be from Transylvania.
Not Transylvania.
Becca, I got a question.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Biden raised more than $72 million from April through the end of his second fundraising quarter. So into June. The campaign says it has $77 million in cash on hand, which represents the highest total amassed by a Democrat at any comparable point in history. And Biden outraised Trump by more than double and DeSantis by more than triple. So I want to know two things. Will he continue fundraising at that level? And also, is that a sign that everyone wants Biden back in and anything to defeat the Republicans? The fact that he's fundraising so much, is that foreboding well for the 2024 election? So will he continue to fundraise at that level more than Trump and DeSantis? It's like more than Trump and DeSantis combined. I got Major Arcana coming out. I get Justice watching what all's going on, with who's running against him, like Trump, and I get their strength and wanting to move forward with positive change, looking at Trump differently now, and not wanting a repeat of having to defend our democracy. So I'm getting that there are money people giving money for him to fight. And to shine more of a light on Biden, and I get it's going to grow and be steady donations.
I asked, will they continue to donate heavily to Joe Biden and why? That way it'll tell me if they want him to be the president or if they just want favors or what the case may be. But word of warning actually was the Ace of Pentacles. So it may slow down, but it's going to ramp all the way back up again because I get the Judgment card, especially when you get closer to that time. And so it may slow down for now because he's now also being primaried and he's got 1,400 on the Republican side also running for president. So they're sort of stuffing the coffers and then they'll be back to do more too. The Lovers and the Two of Wands, they will all come back actually and do a lot of that. Why? Because of the devil, and they want him to still be the emperor. So, yes, they do want him in charge, and they're using that money to fight the devil. The literal at this point.
Literal and figurative.
Will he continue to fundraise at the big level? Yes, and he will also be very successful in the upcoming elections. Crossroads and Sun. So those elections are successful. A lot of energy, a lot of optimism around it. Stewie Rhodes, One-Eyed Stewie. Our favorite gopher. Take it away, Jen. Take it away. What happened?
Merrick Garland is not happy about him only getting 18 years in prison. So he's appealing.
That's bad karma. I probably shouldn't do that.
Johnie, you're not the idiot who shot your own eye out teaching us. Okay?
I can still see. I'm all right. Go ahead.
I can't look at you. Merrick Garland's trying to get more years added to One-Eyed Stewie Rhodes' sentence because he thinks he deserves a lot more, which I agree. Seditious conspiracy. That's treason.
Yeah.
So will Stuart Rhodes get a bigger sentence? One-Eyed Stewie Rhodes. You going to be separated from your girlfriend, lawyer, or even longer.
Who's getting a mental evaluation as we speak? 18
years, it's like, yeah, give him 40 years. That would be the equivalent of almost a life sentence at his age.
I like they did that. I mean, 18 years, that's a long time too, but 25 to even more is what he deserved.
They used to hang people for sedition and treason for entertainment purposes only.
I wonder if he's sitting there going, damn, that was fucking stupid. I mean, he's out there telling Trump that, Trump, you're about to go to prison too for January 6th.
I see you. It sounds like D.
You guys can room up, be buddies. But then I read that other idiot, the QAnon shaman. I just saw on Twitter an article about him that he doesn't regret that he's a hardcore QAnoner, and he's not regretting that he's spending time in prison right now.
Okay. You will. There's a picture. Where's my telephone? Oh, there it is. It speaks volumes to all of them.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what do you have to do? What has to happen for you to understand? But okay, you support who you want to, because I support who I want to. So go ahead.
It's cool. It is. There's no difference between Trump supporters and those people that drink the Kool-Aid and that cult. It's the same thing. We're talking about people that willingly drink bleach, Johnny. That, according to them, didn't exist. But I'm gonna drink this bleach for a virus that doesn't exist.
Thank you, Joanne. This is gonna grow. His sentence is gonna grow. It's like rather quickly, everybody that he partnered with to move on this, it's a tower moment for Stewie. And he wants to send a message to other emissaries, for this in America. He's going to get the crap burdened out of him. If he doesn't get at least 10 more years through the court system, there's a very strong chance of victory on getting the sentence increased in a big old yes card with the Ace of Swords. Thank you, Ernie. Ernie's mom.
Bert and Ernie. What'd you get, Mr. Johnny?
Yes, it will. There it is. Yes, it will. I was doing some reading back in the day on the hangman card, and that's how they used to hang traitors, actually. In old school Italy, was by your feet.
Really?
Yes, and Sometimes it was by 1 foot. And so
Why by
that's
the feet?
because the blood rushing to your head, your brain can't pump it back out. And so basically you die a slow, horrible death. But that's what they used to do to traitors back in the day. And so just an aside, but yes, to answer the question, yes. Page of Cups and Six of Swords, yes.
I got a yes. The scythe, the tower, the sun. A lot of danger. A quick, very quick, sudden decision legally, and it's very successful for DOJ Merrick Garland. So there's that.
Go Stewie.
Like I said, how many of these stupid motherfuckers are sitting in prison going, damn, I made some stupid choices. You know?
How old is he? Does anybody know?
He's like in his 50s, is he not?
Yeah, he's got a grown son, so I think he's in his 50s.
He'd be close to 70 when he gets out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me see. We did that one.
He had more years to it, though. It could be a life sentence.
Yeah. If he makes it out of prison, if he doesn't have an accident in prison with the scythe and the tower.
Well, you know, as part 2 of this, because the Peanut Butter Boys, they haven't been sentenced yet. I think they got convicted of seditious conspiracy, but I don't think they've gone through sentencing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean they'll go after a stiffer sentence on the Peanut Butter Boys, Enrico and all those guys?
He's 57.
He's
Oh, yeah. That's, 18 years is probably still a life sentence for him.
Unless he escapes through his tunnel.
Unless he escapes through an accident, too. I'll say that.
I was reading that Larry Nassar, who molested the Olympian girls, he got stabbed in prison.
Uh-huh. He's yeah.
They do not like those in prison.
And I'm sure that they don't take very kindly either to a person that is a white supremacist in prison either. I mean, I know that they have their little gangs within the prison system and stuff.
You have to join them, though, if you want to survive. So if he doesn't, then...
So what was the question again?
Peanut Butter Boys, will they get stiffer penalty recommendations from DOJ because of this? Oh, all my yes cards coming out. They're going to burden the crap out of them. Just to be practical, I start out with a yes card because they want to hang on to them in prison longer, and all their lies and their crap they did during the insurrection. Another yes card crowning the reading. They want them locked up for a nice long time. Look, I'm getting the King and Queen of Swords again. And they will be successful at this. They're going to burden the crap out of them. And there's another yes card. Judgment coming down. Don't mess with our government, guys. Don't start an insurrection.
The Page of Swords, there's your bad news. And then your 8 of Wands, there's your communications. And so... bad news being delivered. So yes, because I also get the Judgment card. Justice. English is hard. Justice card and the King of Pentacles. Yes, someone wants to take it all the way to the hill, basically maximum investment type thing. There's the 10 of Wands and the Devil, because they are trying to burden those of devilish actions, because you got the 4 of Pentacles. So you're trying to basically conserve whatever it is that they are and do on the outside world. And then Three of Pentacles, yes, this is something that will be agreed upon too. So this is not even, you can appeal and all that jazz, but everybody is sort of on the same page. They're all firm on this. And so I think so.
These guys, they want to send a message to, because we still got a bunch of white supremacist terrorists out there doing stupid stuff.
And mind you, they're still finding people from the Jan 6 videos and things.
Oh, yeah, because stupid motherfuckers from January 6th that haven't been caught yet are out there doing other stupid shit and then getting busted. And then they go in the database and they're like, oh, there's this asshole that was an insurrectionist. We're carting you off to prison now,
Mm-hmm.
I get the dog, the anchor, and the crossroads. Yeah, the loyalists, they're going to reach a point where the decision is coming as far as numbers, 18, 35, 22. So since it ends in crossroads, which is number 22, this is a lifestyle in 1 year or years. Child is 1 year, men on years. So it's almost like 22 years, 20 something years. So it's like it goes up. Do you see what I'm saying? The people that
they should be given 40 years, I think.
Well, you know that these white supremacist group have been taking over school boards and stuff all over the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Not
just Florida, Tennessee, all over the place.
A bunch of uneducated, back of the woods, inbred, toothless, dickless, broke dick motherfuckers are sitting there dictating what our kids are allowed to learn when they couldn't tell you the first word of the Constitution. But that's not here nor there. So, okay, so Josh Hawley, is he coming up for election?
I don't know.
The election? I'm pretty sure he is.
Next election date. He was elected in 2018, and that's a 6-year term. So yes, he would be coming up in 2024.
So let's ask this: will Josh Hawley win re-election?
And his little white supremacist terrorist wife. For entertainment purposes only, and allegedly YouTube. I get the Republican is defeated. Unless there's corruption and bullying and, messing with the polls, any kind of manipulation.
Cheating?
Loses. Everybody looks at him differently now. Judgment's cast on him now. I get there's a change in his seat.
Again, he has support. I'll say, just to answer the question, I'll say yes, he would. He's challenged by the tower, so there is some exposure coming out, though.
Oh.
And this is going to cause a whole lot of turmoil for that period of time. Now, unfortunately, those who care will always care because they always cared. And so if they don't want him there, they'll always think that that's a big deal, whatever it is that's exposed. Those who don't care never will, no matter how much you try to convince them, just like telling a person Trump is a bad idea. They voted for him anyway, and then voted for him again. And so it's one of them things. But it ends in the Star and the Queen of Cups. And so I would say it looks promising for him because he has some support, but it's like way after whatever trial this is. Somebody may be telling him, too, that he doesn't stand much of a chance because there's some very negative talk in his attitude and in thoughts. And so, all saying.
I just pulled one card. I gotta know. That's just one card. So Chuck Grassley. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Chuck Grassley.
He'll be in his 90s if he finishes his term.
He was the one that was supposed to take Mike Pence's place and overturn the election, right?
Right.
Is he going? What is? Fuck it, I'm just going to go there. Is he going to be indicted? Because at this point, it's just like
he's going to get caught up in the January 6th indictments.
Because you're going to take his place in case of what exactly?
In case those gallows.
Fill me in on why you would need to step in for the vice president instead of, I don't know, the Speaker of the House or something.
And then give yourself authority that the Constitution does not grant you to overturn the results of an election.
Yeah. Well, like,
why Chuck Grassley? Like, if somebody was going to replace him, wouldn't it be, I don't know, maybe your party leader, Mitch McConnell? Like, how does that happen?
I might have been born at night, but I ain't born blind. And that stinks to high heaven. Like, you know? So is Chuck Grassley going to get charged? Indicted. I'll start there. And I don't give a shit. I mean, this is one of those things that if they turn it political and, oh, we can't do this because he's a member of Congress. Oh, we can't do this because he's so old. I will riot. If you're going to make the law apply to everybody across the board, then it should apply to everybody across the board, regardless of your socioeconomic status, regardless of your political influence. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ooh, the details that are coming out on him to that grand jury, the Jack Smith grand jury, he's going to regret those secrets. There's something growing out of this that is life-changing for him. I get the tower and the bad news card, and justice coming for him, the court's coming for him, making him anxious. I think he'll end up doing some kind of plea deal. But he's going to get caught up in it. That's for sure.
I mean, how can you not? And this is, like I was saying, this is another one of those things where, like, I don't give a fuck. Your socioeconomic status, your age. Oh, I can't go to prison. I'm a 96-year-old guy. Who gives a fuck? You did the time, you do the time.
Something about messages coming out, whether it's text messaging or whatever.
Ultimately, yes, to answer the question. There's someone here, though, trying to persuade people not to. There's the Temperance and the Ten of Cups. And so there's like a be softer, be kinder, be gentler type of thing. Now they're spinning some sort of story because this, of course, is moderation, and they want you to think about the years that he spent. They're basically trying to build up his character like he would never do such a thing. He's been a loyal servant to the United States for 99,000 years, blah, blah, blah. But the King of Cups comes with the Page of Swords. So he has some very, very negative, very bad news coming his way. But this is slow, though, with the Knight of Pentacles. But this is like Mueller slow, not necessarily Jack Smith slow, because Jack Smith has been kind of efficient, I would say. Mueller was also efficient, but not as quick. And so his was cut off, but he did come to some sort of conclusion, just left it up to Congress. And so that's what this feels like. It's like we're going step by step, we're crossing all the T's and all that type of stuff, but this takes a very long time. And by the time it happens, he may not even be here. But it's one of them things to where it may take a very, very, very long time. I don't predict death, but
he might be planted on a golf course by then.
yes, maybe.
Along with the other missing classified documents, right?
Taxidermy, put him in court anyway.
Put him in prison anyway, taxidermy.
I get a big old yes. His trust is like he's not trusted, and there's a very dangerous decision here. He's a target somehow, some way. He becomes a target here. So it could be something that perhaps was discussed with an aide or aides or something like that. But he's a target eventually. So next question is mint julep.
Mint julep is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and positive, negative things he says about Trump. It's like, God, what the hell? Lindsay, are you going to get an indictment for
Good old Two-Face. Because remember the first time Trump ran, he was the horrible person. And then when he got the nomination, now he's the greatest person. So this is his MO, I guess.
Don't forget, he painted himself orange and dyed his hair for that.
I mean, he was voting to knock down the elector votes and stuff, just like Holly and everybody, Cruz and everybody. But all of a sudden, after January 6th happened, when they reconvened, he's like, I'm out. Like he drew a line. Like, no, I can't. Yeah,
but then he painted himself orange and then went on Fox News about how great Donald Trump is. And in tears, almost in tears, begging people for money. And it's like they got you by the fucking balls in Georgia.
Lindsay the windsock, Karen Conroy.
So will Lindsey Graham be?
He's the windsock that blows back and forth.
During Toyota-thon.
He's like just as disgusting as Ted Cruz, even though Ted Cruz is more like a slimy, gross, like I wouldn't let you watch my dog sort of person. But Lindsey Graham right there, like
if somebody was going to wipe snot on somebody, I would think it'd be Ted Cruz.
I don't know. Those two came right into my mind. So she said gross. I'm like,
wipe him on his little dog Snowflake.
Ted Cruz is the moisture of DeSantis.
He's the snot.
Oh, good Lord in heaven. These people, Jesus.
Who am I reading on? Lindsey Graham. Okay.
Yeah, mint julep.
Oh, mercy. That's violent.
What card is that?
9 of Swords. He is worried. That's probably why your scan's also getting oranger and oranger and redder at the same time. You stay away from that Boone's farm. That brown look will get you something good. So, he looked like a Thunderbird type of man.
Jesus. He's so fucking pathetic. I get embarrassed for him. He has zero integrity or character. None at all. It's embarrassing. Can't stand for shit. It's like he's like a jellyfish, no spine and no fucking brains. At least jellyfish serve a purpose, but
He might might end up with a plea deal too, because he's in on the planning of this. Like, I get he's got regrets, a few too many phone calls that have been investigated, regrets and burdened by that. And trying to fight the election, being a bully, pressuring people. I get the Justice Department is victorious on him, so I want to say he's indicted. There's strong evidence like this will be his legacy as a Republican, the betrayal that he's done. But something shifts, and I think there might be a plea deal, so he might flip or something. They're going to ask him a lot of questions. He might start cooperating and sharing information. So I think he'll end up flipping for some reason. Not.
And I hope to God all of that shit is recorded and then televised 24/7, 365. So the idiots in South Carolina can see that piece of shit for what he is. It's disgusting. I can't.
I get the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. There's a judge somewhere that brings him bad news. You can say yes, but an opportunity. And so, as much as it pains me to say, I think they're playing kid gloves with this in particular person. I get the Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. He may leave some sort of committee. He's not leaving his job. People don't quit their job just because we don't like them. I wish he would, but this is a retreating from some sort of duty, though, because the Eight of Pentacles is your work card. So he's retreating from something. So it could be a committee, or if he's retiring, go ahead. But that doesn't save you from prosecution because you quit your job. Just FYI. But there's some sort of deal. I get the same thing as Jen got. There's some sort of agreement. The Page of Pentacles is like, here on this document, sign your life away type thing. Word of warning is the Fool, naturally and obviously. Your word of solace is decision time. So here is this document. There is your decision. He has a lot to wait on because everything that awaits him is the 9 and 10 of Swords. And so there is no hope. You just have to mitigate your damages, basically.
I get that there's going to be some news that's going about something that he was working on, where he was trying to change something. There's your change. Change something. So it's reading like a yes, but I'll believe it when I see it. One of those things, I should do a GT on him too. I keep saying that, and then next thing I know, I stick my face in the book and I don't come out for a month. Okay, so here's a funny question. So
wait, can we look at Ted Cruz?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's look at that piece of shit.
Let's look at
I was going to call him a dildo, but dildos serve a purpose as well. So
a dildo has a little stiffness and backbone to it. Ted Cruz doesn't.
And it's funny too how all the senators that voted against the results were for states that they don't represent. None of them was like, yay, I won my re-election, but I'm going to, deny these results. It's like,
Ted Cruz didn't have his batteries included.
oh, he's just gross.
He's an AI dildo. He's not really there.
AI dildo.
He's not there. He's computer generated.
He's in Cancun.
Yeah.
And blaming his kids. I can't believe that still.
Kids.
I mean, I don't know, but yes, I can. Because he sat underneath the Trump sign on the phone bank when he called your wife ugly and your father a murderer. So, I mean.
I will never be able to get it out of my head, that video that came out when he was running for president. He was one of the candidates. And he's got his little daughter and he's like looking at her, but trying to but you can see he's more interested if the camera's going to catch him kissing his daughter, and his daughter's like, ew, it's like that whole thing gave me the serious fucking ick. Like,
it was like, you got cooties, get off of me. Type of thing.
he was doing it, Tony. Like
he probably would have defended his daughter if Trump had called on her, said she was ugly. He probably would have defended her, unlike his wife.
I believe he would have just took it. I believe he's the kind of man that would have laid down and taken it. Well, Trump backtalked his entire family. Like he's just a piece of weaselly shit. And I had seen an article too a long time ago. This is not a character flaw that he just happened to develop when he went into Congress. I had seen an article a long time ago that even when he went to law school, his own classmates fucking hated him. That he was a slimy piece of shit then. So it's just like, I mean,
what did Lindsey Graham say? If you killed him on the House floor, nobody would care. Lindsey Graham.
I get victory on that. I start with a big old yes. He is going to have to go away from government. People that he was connected to that did sneaky things, he'll be put in defense mode for that. And I get all these yes cards, like there's money involved, and yeah, he's getting an indictment. Surprise.
To answer the question, I would say yes, but to read these cards, it looks like the hopes for that happening in an administration that could possibly change every 4 years it makes it seem rough. It ends in the Wheel of Fortune. And I clarified it with the 9 of Wands. So he is under pressure and does have some very bad luck coming his way. The 6 of Swords, though, is a rough transition. You do get to smooth the water eventually, but that's in the environment, not the outcome. And so he's got the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune and 9 of Wands. So there is an investigator here. But this investigator in the High Priestess, looking at all the secrets and the sun and all that stuff here too, this is like the Mueller, and then the Mueller gets shut down from the Bill Barr, and then the Jack Smith gets the go-ahead because now he's under Biden. And so it's one of them people to where, okay, you can go get Trump and then you get shut down. You can go get Trump and you're fine as long as Biden's in office. And so Ted Cruz here has some dependency upon who's president and who's investigating. The investigator and Wheel of Fortune. It all depends upon this person. So I'm going to still say yes, though, but we'll see.
I would love to see that. And then put a little camera in itself so we can all watch him on reality TV show live on the internet. I get a yes, but it's going to take a long time. It's not next week, next Tuesday, August, November. No, this is a while.
I would feel bad for him if he wasn't a piece of crap.
Huh?
I would feel bad for him if he wasn't a piece of crap. Everybody hates you. Like, that can't be. This has to be one of those things in your chart to where you're just one of them people that nobody likes.
Nobody. I mean, that's bad when even Lindsey Graham, Mint Julep is like, if somebody killed him, nobody would care.
Nobody would care.
That's a lot. That says a lot.
It's your own party saying that.
Like, yeah.
Okay, I got one of Johnny's questions here. The Health Ethics Committee investigating Matt Gaetz. Is this going anywhere or is it political theater?
They're interviewing people, I think, which, okay. What's step 2, though? He's in the House, right?
Yeah.
The Republican House. Doesn't go anywhere.
I mean, and the stuff that's alleged, this is what I don't understand, and somebody please explain this to me like I'm a freaking idiot. We have rules and laws to abide by out here in the real world. If I was to walk into my office and start showing my coworkers pictures of nude men or nude women, I'd be fired on the spot for sexual harassment and misconduct and everything else. Meanwhile, look at the clown show, you know, that the GOP brings to the floor every day. Matt Gaetz showing pictures of nude women and text messages of drug dealing and God knows what else. Marjorie Taylor Greene openly harassing people and calling somebody on the floor a stupid bitch or a little bitch or whatever. If that were any of us out here in the real world, we wouldn't have a job. We wouldn't have a.
You can't even behave that way at Walmart.
No.
He's eventually going to have to go away. I'm getting. He's going to get the crap burdened out of him. So I get this rose, but he's temporarily going to be in calmer waters, and victory on that. It's going to grow, and I think there will be a referral to DOJ eventually for an indictment as they continue this investigation. So to me, it looks like there's problems moving it forward until 2024 elections and people come in January 2025. There's something kind of iffy about it, but there's definitely corruption that's going to come up in court with him.
I get the Word of Warning, 10 of Swords, the outcome card, 5 of Cups. So loss and grief and loss and ruin. He also loses a lot of relationships. This is between the 10 of Cups and the Temperance card. You lose a lot of relationships because of this, especially with some woman here. So I don't know if that's Ginger, if they're even still together, or who that is. But it could be dark-haired woman or earth sign woman. But there's a woman here. But there's also Magician and the Moon card. This is manipulation and treachery. Now, the Magician by itself is fine until you couple it with something that's not so fine. There's going to be a woman here who speaks out a lot on manipulation and treachery. And so that kind of, it doesn't submit you by itself, but it gives people a lot to think about and a lot to weigh. And so that's when you start to lose the relationships part, and then everything sort of domino effects. And then other stuff starts to come out, the 7 of Pentacles, because there's a lot of evidence there. These in particular people and investigators in the House Ethics Committee just may not know how to find it, but somebody else could. And if this woman hires an attorney or hires an investigator or something like that, they can produce some evidence. I mean, you do have a Venmo trail, so it's not like there's nothing out there. So there's that.
Is it political now? I get that this is serious. I got the moon, the birds, and the map. There's something around his career or how he's seen around his careers. People are talking. This is interviewing people. People are talking about him, meetings that they've had with him. Birds is also phones. So perhaps stuff that he had on his phone. Do you see what I'm saying? Meetings that he was in, stuff he may have said in meetings. So, but people are being interviewed. I get that this is serious. It's not a show. So my next question, talking about the GOP clown show. Since Marjorie Taylor Greene has been officially kicked out of the Freedom Caucus, Kevin McCarthy no longer has what would I call it?
His mouthpiece.
His mouthpiece. His mouthpiece.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah. That's basically what she was, Jennie, because he was using her because he recognized her desire for power, and he was using her to manipulate that group of people, and she ended up biting off more than she can chew. So now him and Matt Gaetz are not on good terms. He thinks Lauren Boebert is a stupid piece of shit, which that girl has the IQ of a rock, and the rest of them are just nuts. So how is McCarthy going to handle the Freedom Caucus now that his puppet has no
He's not a
influence.
part of it.
Yeah, she has no influence. I mean, those people are just nuts, and it's like you think that you're going to be able to wrangle these people. It's like trying to herd cats, you know.
Well,
But you guys got
Pulling it over right now. He's not sure. I get he's eyeing somebody, dark-haired woman, so like a Bobert or somebody,
or like a Stefanik or something like
or
that.
Stefanik or somebody to intervene for him to be the sneaky one, and report back to him as the leader, the Republicans in the House. But he's got judgment on him, and he needs their votes. Like, he doesn't want them shifting votes away from him, like voting him out as speaker. He wants to keep that speaker vote. I'm getting that there's going to be illumination on somebody's partnering with here in like the next 2 months, but he's trying to find somebody to do his bidding. I don't think he's decided yet who it is, who he can get in bed with, who he can get to partner with him.
They all hate him. They have him by the balls. Like all the deals that he made, it just takes one person to bring up articles to have him removed.
Yeah, hangman, indecision, doesn't know what he's going to do.
There is another woman here, I guess, with the Queen of Wands, Magician, and the Fool. She is to be the new Marjorie or the new whatever, because she's sort of taking her own new journey here. What is he going to do, or how is he going to handle them? He's not, because they handle him, not them. And so you have the votes here with the Seven of Pentacles. The Emperor has no clothes, and they're the only ones who can give him any. And so here with the Three of Pentacles, he is tied to these people here in the government. Word of warning is the Hierophant. The Hierophant on its face value is not a negative card. It's religion, it's morals. When it's in the warning position, this is oppression, this is rigidness, this is conformity. And so you must be what we say, the end. And so, or you're going to go to hell. And so there is that now. So he has no power. He's a puppet. He knows that though. So
I asked, how is he going to be able to influence the Freedom Caucus? I got the ship, the heart, the sun, the man, and the key. Anything short of taking it in the ass, he will give. Even that, he's going to give them whatever they desire. He will give them access, desire, energy, a lot of success, optimism, the man, and then he has access. He'll open it up for them. He will give them anything they want, anything. So here's
you only got a year left.
Here's my next question. Since the Republicans have been in control of the House, they have threatened to shut down the government over the fiscal cliff shit, whatever. you know, it's been investigation after investigation after investigation that have gone horrifically wrong in their favor. Like, I mean, just bad, from the Chinese spy guy, our whistleblower that went missing. Oh, it's because he's a freaking runaway felon. That's
Oh,
hiding from the law.
McCarthy out there saying, "Oh, see, it proves that he's a reliable witness. The fact they indicted him, you know, because they feel threatened by him."
It's like it's you have to be a special kind of moron to eat from that bullshit buffet. Like, it's
desperation.
ridiculous.
Nothing but desperation.
So my question is, what?
That's the Republican debate stage. That's what they should call it, bullshit buffet. And it's just got all these different people sitting there. It's like, get you a little of this, a little of that one.
It's like the golden corral of bullshit over there. You know, it's all you can eat for $6.99 with no benefits.
The
So,
liars, they just got to keep spreading the lie.
so I want to know, how are they going to do in the 2024 election? And the reason I ask this is because the maps in New York are being redistricted, and it is looking like it will benefit the Dems.
Yeah.
This next election cycle. So I want to know, are they going to maintain the House next election?
Are Republicans going to maintain the House?
Because they barely have it now.
Yeah. It should have been a wipeout of Democrats. And it's sad that, no, actually, no, it's not sad. I'm fucking happy. Because a lot of people would be losing a lot of benefits right now if they had the power, you know? But
Well, they retain.
so will Republicans retain the House in the next election?
I get the House changes, but if they do, it's a lie. Like, we better be taking it to court and checking everything. If they do, it's a lie. Or maybe they spread the big lie again, like, oh no, we won, you know. But I get things get illuminated through the courts, and it may be that, you know, they try to be sneaky and get away with things as the Republicans there.
Jose Meme is saying that Alabama and Louisiana have to do their maps in 2024 elections to include more Democrats. So a lot of redistricting, not just in New York, but in other places too.
Their strength is blocked and anxiety. So I don't, you know, even if they say they win, they don't.
It's kind of hard to say we won when you're not there anymore. You know? Like, I'm just saying.
How many open seats are there going to be from indictments?
That's what I want to know. We should pull Lenny's on that, because that was fun. What did you get, Johnny?
I get they're projected to, but something goes awry, and they're left isolated. And so here with the Hierophant and the Seven of Wands, so you're defending your position within the government, defense government. Then there's the Devil, and then the Six of Wands, Devil victorious. And so they are projected to win. The Justice and the Ace of Pentacles maybe even pick up one more seat type of thing. But the Justice and the Page of Pentacles, there may be some legal somethings here happening in more places than one. And then it ends in the Hermit, and I clarified it with the Biden and the Page of Cups. It's like a surprise Biden got more things or more votes, because he also accompanies the Seven of Pentacles. And so they're projected to win, but for some reason they do not. But we'll see.
It reminds me of what just happened this last election. Remember, the polls are going to get 60, 50, 60 seats. And then they got what, 10, maybe 11 seats? Yeah. You know, because and then we found out that it was the pollsters and stuff, the people that were actually taking the polls that were purposefully misrepresenting and the lobbyists that were paying for wrong polls to try to influence Republican turnout. But it worked against them actually because they only won like what 10, 11 seats. You know, I get a no. There's the House. There's a woman that is a liar, vindictive, and very problematic. So whoever this woman is here might be a MTG or some other. The only person I can think of is MTG because she's a huge problem, you know. But I get a no that they don't keep the House in 24.
I asked how many Congress people will be indicted over January 6th alone. Just over January 6th. I'm getting 8 to 14 ending their work and ending the investigations also. 8 to 14.
I would love to see that. And make that freaking piece of shit Jim Jordan one of them. I cannot stand that man's voice. I can't. He sounds like an auctioneer that just puffed, you know, like a whole thing of freaking helium. So let me see here. So here's the question. The Trump indictment, the Florida classified documents case. He's trying to get it moved past the elections. And Jack Smith is like, no. Here's the other twist. I forgot where I saw this, if it was Midas Touch or if it was Ring of Fire or where it was, but they were saying somewhere, I saw it from a reputable source, just not on mainstream media, that Judge Eileen Cannon, it was reported that Judge Eileen Cannon is wanting to move the case to a different district that is very favorable to Trump. So the jury would be
loaded with Trump supporters.
So even if there's video evidence of him selling nuclear secrets to the Saudis and getting a suitcase full of money and rolling around in it, these people would still say, nope, not guilty. So will Judge Cannon move the case to a different area?
She'll try to, but no. This is a woman that has nostalgia for Trump, right? She's got that thing.
And go fuck him. Okay,
yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, she wants to move to higher ground and do something, you know, that's not great in moving the case. But I get there's a man that's over her, like a higher thing that burdens the crap out of her for trying to move it. And I get there's a delay in that and then a big old no. So I get somebody higher up than her. So if that's the appellate court or whoever's over her, somebody higher up is going to be like, nope.
The change in the jury. Okay, so here's your jury, 10 of cups. There's your change death card. Major change. And then there's the 3 of wands. So something approaches. Expansion of something as well. And then there's the tower and the 5 of pentacles. So there's a no on that. But there is the star and the ace of wands, which gives me the impression of meddling because this is a new action of some sort here in the future. So she's trying to do something now and set up something for the future. So this gives me the impression of meddling, but as far as moving it, I don't think that's going to happen.
I get the bear, the sun, and the tree. Somewhere where there's a lot of power and a lot of success and a lot of energy for this person here that is an executive, like a president, you know, but it stays rooted and grounded. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's almost like this is not moving. Trees don't get up and move around. It's not moving. So can we ask this? Is the Supreme? Is the 11th Circuit going to have to?
Can we ask if she'll agree to move the trial date, like Trump asked, to after the election? Before we look at what happens.
I'll ask if the trial date will be moved to after the election.
Yeah. Will the trial date be moved to after the election? Oh, that's a no, just fell out. Nope, DOJ is not going to allow it. Jack Smith, his plans will persevere here because the sneakiness they're trying to get in manipulating the trial date. That's a big O no. DOJ or somebody in a higher court comes in, and no, it's not going to. And I get a no on the bottom also with the moon card. They're not going to be able to postpone it till then.
Yeah, I'm with Johnie. She's just setting it up to meddle. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like you just got smacked down twice, girlfriend, by the 11th Circuit. You want to do that again? You want to do that again? Like, do you really want to do it again?
Supposedly, she's been groomed for the Supreme Court. I mean, but she can't even handle the lower court. So
she never
she's not supposed to be there either.
Yeah, she never even prosecuted a case. She's another one of those,
Amy COVID parents.
Federalist Society appointed judges where the bar is like, this woman isn't even fit to be a fucking dog catcher. I mean, I could take my mailman and make him a Supreme Court justice, and he would have more sense than her, But sorry, go ahead, Johnie.
I think they're still going to try something with that jury thing, to where I don't know if they'll say one is compromised. They're trying to change it. They're still trying to change the jury part. But as far as moving the thing, no. There's your 5 of Swords, Jack Smith, your Tower, your 3 of Wands. He's also about to bring something new to Donald Trump, too.
Good.
Did a small little tableau. I don't know when the video comes out, but that's in there, too. There's something else on the way.
Well, they were talking about him adding to the charges already established for the classified documents case that we're going to supersede and add to. And then there's also talk of him going to Bedminster and filing charges there too. Yeah. Will she move it? I get a no. There's a lot of burdens and problems and suffering here with the law. There's a large group of people. It's too public. There's a large group of people in the law. So like a grand jury of some sort. No.
So back to your question, will the
11th Circuit have to correct her again?
What are they going to intervene?
What was it? Will the 11th Circuit have to intervene again with Canon? I want her to just try. I want her to just try this much, so you can get smacked down again, you stupid bitch. Like I was watching some show, I think it was the Midas Touch or whatever, where they were going over her resume. Johnie, the girl, when I say she has no experience, she has no experience at all. Like even the basic stuff that lawyers are supposed to do, like write papers or write articles or something, she didn't even do that. So it's almost like between everything, all these judges that we're seeing coming out of the Federalist Society, it's like they're just handpicking puppets that will just, So let me see.
I get they will take an action. They've got the wisdom, like they know who she is. They've got the wisdom about her. If she looks like she's partnering with sneaky people, and strength, like she's biased, then they're going to offer her to go work somewhere else. They're going to break her out of that position. If there's any inkling of corruption, yes, they will burden the crap out of her and give her some kind of charitable position somewhere else. And someone new will come into the court to handle it.
Yes, someone very important. This is by way of a message of some kind, maybe like not verbal, but some sort of letter or something like that. They come into contact with her initially that way. But yes, I get the Tower and then redirection with the Eight of Cups. So I don't think she's going to leave the position. This is what this would kind of say, but I'm going to say more so a redirection instead of a resignation or something like that.
I asked if the 11th Circuit would have to intervene. Usually I pull 3 cards, but for some reason I accidentally pulled 4. I get the Scythe, the Mountain, the Fox, and the Storks. There's a decision or a choice that she's obstructing or delaying, and then a manipulation. But all of that gets changed or overturned with the Storks. So I would read that as a yes. If there is any attempt to make decisions to obstruct or delay something and then manipulate, it gets changed here. It gets overturned. So, like I said, fuck around and find out, lady. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. So let me see here. Oh, here's a fun one. Our favorite Nazi, Elon Musk, is saying that the Twitter, as per CNBC, Elon Musk is saying that the Twitter cash flow is still negative due to revenue declines and heavy debt.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to know is, will Twitter recover financially?
I'm going to ask, will Twitter recover while Elon is there?
Yeah. I mean, this guy...
I thought he was supposed to be naming a new CEO.
These people quit in like 3 days. But he was supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has done everything he possibly can to torch.
To make it a right-wing media outlet.
But not even that. Just to torch the whole fucking thing from top to bottom. It's okay. You want to have an echo chamber for a bunch of crazies. That's fine. But that doesn't mean to go out and then fire your entire IT staff and everybody else that knows how to run the damn thing. And then invite a bunch of Nazis in, and then advertisers hightail it and go, "Oh, what happened? What did I do wrong?" You know?
He hired a person, or a person was there. Their sole purpose, their job, was to make Twitter advertiser friendly. Not necessarily the entire platform, but it's supposed to draw in advertisers. Image was supposed to draw in advertisers. And then he posted a video that was banned because it was anti-trans. And then that person also quit because of that. And so he can't keep people because he's pushing them out the door by doing stupid stuff. So
he's just a bigot, a racist, a xenophobe, a piece of shit narcissist that is completely incapable of recognizing what he's doing wrong. You know, like, it's like get in your rocket and get lost. Just go. Just go. Nobody cares, Elon. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all pissed off at Mark Zuckerberg for Threads. Is it? They're fighting over that now?
mm-hmm.
He thinks he knows best. You know, he thinks he's the higher moral authority on everything, and how he structured this and his image. I just get all these cups cards. It's all about emotion. Everything, you know, he's trying to figure out his options. The only money card I get is him watching it. And I get the boss's toast, that the money is imbalanced, and they may have a new leader that comes in that brings them some hope. So I think he'll end up selling it at a loss. No, it's just chaos there. Too many people walking away. I don't get Pentacles like money coming in.
Mm-mm.
He's a Trump. He runs everything in the ground eventually.
Yeah. Like I said, please buy Fox News. Buy it. Trash that thing in a day. What'd you get, John?
I get a pentacle, but it's in the word of warning, which is your 7 of pentacles. This would be your investment, and the thing that you put in the ground, hoping that seed will grow and you can reap your beautiful, bountiful harvest. It is with the 2 of swords and the temperance. You're going to have a decision to make on moderation. And so there's going to be a lot of layoffs. And this is also going to make you have to make the decision on dipping into the coffer to cover a lot of debts and a lot of this and a lot of that. What do you continue to pay for when it is no longer giving you dividend? And so there is going to be a decision that you're going to have to make. It ends in the devil. So will he recover, or will Twitter recover while he's there? No. This is going to continue to hemorrhage because of the actions that have been taken. So
I asked, will Twitter recover under Elon Musk financially? No. There's news. The feedback that's coming out is that it keeps shrinking. There's no growth. There's the growth. There's the news. It's shrinking. It gets taken away. It's eating away at the growth. Like, it doesn't grow. You know, it's not complete and utter catastrophic. Like, it's not going to be there tomorrow. It's just going to dwindle. So him and Zuckerberg are fighting. Like, he's trying to sue the other person for Threads. Is that it? Is that what's going on with that, Johnny? Or
no, he's just upset that he's got competition in that arena.
Because he just loves, monopolies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, people have signed up for Threads, and like all things, it has cooled down because, all the people who were going to go there went there. Mm-hmm. But who cares? Twitter didn't disintegrate overnight because somebody started up something new. So calm your nerves.
No, but he just made it into a cesspool of misinformation, bullying. Like, he had this whole post that he was going to start taking people's accounts away and blocking them, like deactivating their accounts for using the word cis. Like, cis is not a word, And it's like Mr. Free Speech censoring people. Okay, he's such a fucking piece of shit.
Because what else do you need on Twitter but less people? Yes, block them. Block them all. Have 2 people on Twitter, you and Donald Trump, and he ain't coming back no time soon.
And he's got his own platform he's going to use.
His own platform that is failing, just like Twitter.
Yeah.
So, have at it. So, okay, let me see. One question here. Where is Justice Thomas going to be vacationing this summer? Because we know he loves those Walmart parking lots. We know it. Is he going to go to KFC? Get a side of mashed potatoes, which makes me I really want to go to KFC and get one of those bowls with the mashed potatoes and the corn and the gravy and the little chickens. Sounds good.
Hey, Reverie.
But I have to drive down the hill and a bit that way, so no. It's outside of my 1 mile radius. So where is Justice Thomas going to vacation for the summer?
Roro came up for this one.
Hi, Roro.
Is his wife religious?
His wife's a fucking nutball, but probably.
Conspiracy theorist. But
where is he going on vacation this summer?
There's him and some blonde woman, I assume is Jennie. They're going to some sort of cultist. I'm calling it cultist. Cultist. Because here you have the Hierophant. Again, religion, but it's private with the 4 of Pentacles. It doesn't let a lot in and it doesn't let a lot out. Kind of like Scientology type thing. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's some sort of private, religiously themed retreat type thing with some man at the head of it. This is not God, though. And so, and this ain't either, for the record. This is the Pope. And so there's some sort of Nightmare on Elm Street cultish type thing.
Hey, man,
Beware, they might sacrifice your black ass. You better calm down, man.
don't do Freddy Krueger dirty like that, though. He was Freddy Krueger had jokes before he slashed you all up in your dreams.
I get wherever he's told to, wherever he's bullied to go, he's returning somewhere with the man. So that's probably his little Harlan Crow guy, looking at the options wherever he's paid to go. That's a luxurious lifestyle. That's where he's going to go, wherever he's paid to.
I get the ring, the mice, and the ship. So there's a vacation. Where's he going to go? Okay, so as a thing, the ring would be something that's routine, somewhere where he's been before. It's like a team of people, but it's a team of people that work together to take something away. But where is he going to go? Hold on, let me see. Where is he going to go? Let me pull 2 more cards to follow the ship.
Now, with the ship, do you need another card to tell you it's a fancy ship like a yacht, or just can the ship be a fancy ship by itself?
It could be a fancy ship, a fancy boat. Let me see. Anything that would take you over long distance travel. Also cars, vehicles, semis, RVs. And then I pulled 2 more to see where it is. Where it's going, and then it's lilies and child. So lilies would be like lilies could be a place like that's represented by a fleur-de-lis, so like Louisiana, France, somewhere where he can relax that may be new or might be smaller. But this could be like a trip abroad. Maybe I would say maybe somewhere in France, but it's a smaller place in France though. For entertainment,
like a little island.
I don't know. Does France have islands?
Yep.
It's going to go to Nice.
To Nice or something?
I got a question, Becca.
Yeah, let's go.
Twitter was blowing up saying that these 2 are an item now.
Oh, good God.
Oh, my God.
And that he's broken up with the gargoyle.
I mean, that hasn't been confirmed. I'll believe that he broke up.
It's not confirmed, but it was blowing up all over the place. I just want to look. Has he broken up with Gargoyle? Because they were supposedly engaged. Well done.
She's a scary looking bitch too, man. Like I saw a picture of what she looked like before all the plastic surgeries. And then I see her now and I'm like, what the hell happened to you? Like she doesn't even look. It's like you jacked up your face, girlfriend, big time.
Blown up her lips big time.
And then with those false eyelashes that are like this long, so it looks like she's got 2 dead caterpillars. And her damn eyes, it's like, ugh.
Are they still together or they split?
They're still together.
That was Bobert and Don Jr. in the pic
Yeah,
together.
it's just Bobert and Junior. That's a Twitter rumor mill stuff. But I get that they're still together. I get the anchor.
Nope, still together.
That's a pretty good. Johnny, what part is that?
7 of Pentacles.
That's
Seated. They're together.
They're still together. They're still drinking. They're still nostalgia. They're still doing what they do routinely. They're still together.
Doing drugs and having orgies. Because homegirl's a freak like that. That's what she
Is that what the collaboration card is?
I hired from Fox News because she was telling people to just go sleep around I mean, you do you, boo, but
Go for it.
No. Well, that's all we got for tonight, folks. That's all. I hope we didn't disgust anybody with the booger eating talk. That was definitely, I take responsibility. That was disgusting, immature, but so funny at the same time.
We'll be on my channel next week, but we'll probably go live together sometime this week when we're all three together at some point for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, you guys?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Night.